How has the media's coverage of the EU changed with the evolution of European identity?
I think that since I was a correspondent in Brussels 30 years ago, I think that the European media's coverage has stayed national, principally directed at national audiences, but become more skeptical. It used to be more pro-European for a national audience. Now it is more negative about the European Union, still for those national audiences.
To what extent has the media influenced the development of a more fragmented European identity?
I think that the media always reflects and then amplifies underlying phenomena, underlying feelings, underlying atmospheres. And I think that what we've seen in the European society, European politics, and above all in the economy since the Lehman shock 5 years ago, 6 years ago nearly, and since the Euro crisis, is a more sort of centrifugal Europe, a Europe in which there is such fear and pain and anger that the desire to blame foreigners has increased. The easiest foreigners to blame are neighbours, other Europeans, and I think the media fanned those flames and have reinforced that atmosphere, but they didn't invent it. It comes from below, comes from the real fears and the real worries and the real arguments that people have, but the media certainly accelerate this process and reinforce it.
How can leading media outlets like The Economist ensure that their customers receive a more holistic continental perspective on the EU?
Well, I think that above all, something like The Economist or the Financial Times or the Wall Street Journal should look for common European problems, common European solutions, and common European interests. Not in an artificial way to say that there must be a European Union policy or something, but rather in a way that reflects the reality, which is that many of these problems are shared, or at least they exist in several European countries at once. And so I would say a comparative perspective, in which you don't just write about France's problems with the welfare state, but you look simultaneously at what's going on in Sweden and Germany and the Netherlands, and then see what a European dimension also can bring. Or you look at problems of migration, and similarly look at it in a multi-country way. And I think that too much of the media looks at problems as if they only exist in one country. I think that the media like The Economist, its contribution can and should be to show that they actually exist in a lot of places and that we can learn from the comparative analysis.